Journal Babes, and welcome to Organized Planner Chic. I'm Lucinda, and if you haven't subscribed already, please do so and select the bell for notifications. And go ahead and hit that join button right next to it so you can become a channel member. Okay, you guys, today I'm going to take you along with me to just spend the day together. We're going to go to some different journaling shops. I love Japanese stationery, so that's kind of what I'm looking for. And also at least probably one library where I like to pick up free materials as well. And we might stop at a cafe. I don't know. Whatever I'm going to do today, I'm going to take you guys with me, all right? So let's get started. thing from the Cutie Japanese concept store are these pins with multiple colors. So there's 2 in the package. They had some other ones that had 1, and I wasn't sure. You know, I assumed they were better because there was only 1 in that package as opposed to 2, and they were all $1.75 per package. But what I liked about this one instead is that it has 1.0 and 0.7 in the black. I wish they had a 0.5 also. I can't remember if I saw a pen at all that had 0.5. I don't think so, because I'm pretty sure I would have gotten it, because 0.5 is my absolute favorite. But I like that it had 2 different sizes in the black, because sometimes you might want to differentiate and put more emphasis on something you're writing in the bold, and also have the little bit finer points. So that's why I got this one. But I wanted to show you guys, and let's see how well it writes. Actually, I don't know. It does look a little bit broader there. It's not a significant difference. So, and I guess technically that's not the 0.7 versus the 1 point. But normally when I find 1 point, it's a lot broader than that. So, but they write smoothly, I can tell you that. So, it's a worthwhile pen. It really is, if you want multiple colors in 1 pen. So, and you get 2 in the package. So I think that was worth it. Even if it was not so good, I think that's worth it for that price, right? I also got an aluminum palette. All the ones that I had before this were all plastic. So I was really happy to see that. I also want to get a ceramic one and just see if it really matters, if it makes a difference. Just, I don't know if it makes any sort of difference at all. But I really always felt like I wanted a ceramic one just because it's beautiful, it's heavy, it's strong. Maybe it probably doesn't ever stain. Just like when you get stoneware bowls versus a plastic bowl to eat something like spaghetti in, you know, I'm not sure. So if you guys know, because I've always used plastic, if you know if there's really some particular benefit, let me know. But I want to try this. I just like that it's not plastic too also, you know, less plastic, right? And I also got this set. I'm probably zoomed in a little too close, but you guys can pretty much see the top is just the package. But I wanted to get some more modeling clay because I wanted to start practicing working with modeling clay, because I want to do some clay projects and I want to start doing some clay things and sharing with you guys in shorts and so forth. So I have bought some polymer clay, but I wanted to practice a modeling clay first. So I have a set like this, and I thought I could use one more. But also they have these little molds, which would be really nice, because even with the polymer clay, I can practice, or not practice, but actually make some stuff in the molds for that before baking. So yeah, so I'm gonna work on that. So that was $1.75. Also, they have other price things, but not very many. Like I find at Daiso, which they had some Daiso products there, by the way, because it said Daiso on the packages. But at Daiso, there are plenty of things that are not $1.75, but the majority, the overwhelming majority of things at this store, at the Cutie Japanese concept store, was $1.75. So cool beans, right? And I also thought this was a really good deal, you guys. So this is a set of crochet needles, and I do crochet, but not a lot. I haven't done it, honestly, in a really long time, but I wanted to start doing it because I wanted to make my own little doilies that I use in the backgrounds for my videos, especially in my shorts. And so I have a lot of yarn I have not been using, and I do have a few crochet needles, but not on all these different sizes. So I thought this would be awesome. I do prefer a metal needle as opposed to plastic. I just feel like they glide better around the yarn, and I have a couple of plastic ones, and I think 1 or 2 actual metal ones from Dollar Tree, but I don't have all these different sizes. So I'm excited about that. Now, I know I just said something about less plastic, right? And I do mean that, but I'm going to be going on a train ride, or actually several train rides. I'm going to be doing about 3 weeks of traveling by train starting in May. So I'll tell you guys more about that later. And I wanted to pack a lot of food, and the you know, if it's not a plastic container, it's a lot heavier and I cannot have the weight because of just some different issues with my body. So I needed to have plastic, and I made sure that these were BPA free, and I like that they have that little, you know, snap part on here so that you can have warm things and seal in the pressure to keep it warm, and then just pop it open when you're ready to eat it. So this one is this really cute size. Yeah. And then I have these that are the same design, but it's just a couple of smaller ones. Yeah, so, and they were all $1.75. Now at Daiso, I did buy a few things as well, and I'm really excited about this little piece for $1.75. Everything I got was $1.75. I very rarely buy something from there for more than $1.75 because that's kind of my motivation of going to a store like that, is to get stuff at that price. So I got this stamp. I love wax seal stamps. And so this is very pretty and very dainty. If you can see that, it's like a little leaf. Yeah, and it just shows you a little sample of stamping it there. So I'm going to put it with my other wax seal stamps, and I'm really excited about that. This that I think is just a beautiful little tin to put certain journaling supplies in that are small, that are about this size, this length, for like the stickers that are kind of vintage looking, or sort of shaped like frame shapes and that kind of thing, that are this size. It actually came with rubber bands. That's what it's for. I don't need these rubber bands, so I'll put them somewhere else, but I'm going to put those supplies in here. And I just love the size and the shape of this little tin. I think it is just, I don't know, I just love it. All right, a couple of stamps, and I want to open this real quick and see how well, not stamps, I don't know why I want to call everything a stamp, y'all. This is a punch, a craft punch, and I want to see if I can get it open without ruining my nails. Okay, it took me a minute to get that open. I just want to see how well it stamps. Gosh, how well it punches. Get that word stamp out of your mind. Okay, now this isn't paper, and that did not work. So let's find a piece of paper. Well, cardboard technically is paper, but you know what I mean. It's just too thick for the stamp. But I'm still a little nervous that it won't punch very well. Oh, it does not punch. Okay, let me try it again, because there are no returns at Daiso or the cutie store either. Okay, there we go. It was just me. It was just the operator. Okay, that punches perfectly. All right, so that one, and then I got a round one too. So yeah, and this is a good deal, so you can have more flowers than having to buy every single time flowers. You can punch these into different colored papers and make you all kinds of little flowers. And same thing with circle shapes as well. And I think that's just a better deal sometimes when you can, to save a little bit of money. And lastly, at the library, I got some magazines. So at most of the libraries out here, they have a used bookstore inside where they have old books and magazines, etc. in there, videos, DVDs, CDs, games even. And sometimes they're like 10 magazines for $1, you guys, or 5 for $1, or like just 10 cents individually each, that kind of thing. It just depends on the location. But these are so cheap, and they're not always super old, although I have found some vintage ones, which was a super amazing find. Sometimes they're just from the previous quarter. You know, it's sort of obsolete when the next issue comes out. But these are great resources for journaling. And look at that. How beautiful would that be in the background of a journal spread? I mean, I'm going to use that, I'm telling you. And then just different things like this is just pretty right here to put in the background or to journal with, or do whatever you want in a journal. So you can find all kinds of stuff. Even that, look how pretty that would be. And then for vintage journaling, old pictures like that. And then like here, even just the cover, look at all those flowers that you could cut and just store for future use even. And this, look at all that greenery. Yeah. So while I continue to flip through some of this, I want to go ahead and thank you guys so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe and comment and share. It really helps my channel a lot, and it tells the YouTube algorithm to recommend my videos. You guys, please take care of your bodies. We only have one. And take care of your spirit, seeking first the kingdom of God and all his righteousness. You guys continue to pray for me, and I'll continue to pray for you. And until next time, everyone, happy journaling.